Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis, updated commodities, work our way through the dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it together. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com, where I dive deeper into all these topics, sectors, looking for investment opportunities, sharing those opportunities with everybody in the community. Special coupon code that you can use if you'd like to sign up. That works on both the monthly and yearly memberships. And you can see the description link for those discounts. All right, let's dive in today, see what's going on. Starting with the DXY, we still have that dollar strength. We've got a nice pattern that this is basically a falling wedge double bottom, and it is ripping higher. As expected, continuing to move on upwards for the DXY. I know a lot of people were out there looking for a weaker dollar, DXY specifically, and that's just not what we're seeing in the charts. It looks good to go higher. Now today, yields did fall. Yields fell 0.75% on the 2-year. I still think this looks good to go higher, although we did fall today. The 10-year is down a little bit, 0.5, but again, they're not big reversal candlesticks or anything like that, so I do think that we have the likelihood of going higher. And the 30-year down slightly today, 0.4% or so. That's a broken down trend, looking to go higher. So although we were down today, I still think that the trend is up for 2-year, 10-year, 30-year, and also the DXY. TLT bond prices are up a little bit today. They shot lower yesterday, and it's kind of a little bit of a return move today, but that still looks rough. I mean, it still looks rough at the moment, where we could see this get sold off downward, which means higher yields. The 2 and the 10, a little bit of yield curve uninversion today, but it doesn't look like that wants to continue lower. We do have a little wick at the bottom, so it was brought down and came back up. We're still in that rectangular box. And again, this looks like a falling wedge into a double bottom, that we eventually work higher and reinvert the curve, perhaps. TYX TNX ratio is flat today, so we've got a stronger dollar, headwind for gold, and no tailwind from this ratio today. Gold did sell off $65 an ounce. Could we pull on back a little bit more? Let me zoom in here. So sometimes on these, if it's like an Elliott wave, you get these moves lower. Then you get this like W bottom, where you kind of come up like this and then it rolls over. And then you get like an ABC correction. That is possible that we do something like that. Maybe we come back here somewhere in an ABC correction. Elliott wave doesn't work every single time, so I'm not stating that's exactly what will happen. The Elliott wave guys like to think that occurs like that, but that's not what I've observed in history. Could we get kind of like a double bottom and another bottom-ish in this general area, right in that area there? That could happen too. So I'm not saying I know what's going to happen in the short term. This does look like a falling wedge double bottom that tries to work its way on up. But short term, we've pulled on back here in the short term. So we'll see what happens. Difficult one to call here in terms of what direction we're going to go in the very short term. I mean, this is also on the backs of a very big upward move. So having a consolidation or a pullback here is expected at some point, and we're going through that some point right now. Silver's down 2.38%. That looks like a falling wedge. Some people are calling for a shoulder, head, shoulder pattern. Again, guys, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen here in the short term. Longer term, silver looks fantastic. We're at a little bit of support here. We'll see if it holds. Looks like we've kind of a surge higher with small selling pressure back. Sometimes these like to bottom and turn higher. But in the short term, guys, I really don't trade the short term. That's where you get burned. So what I'll say is we haven't broken and made a new low here at 45. So we got a falling wedge. We've got a breakout of the falling wedge, and this could turn higher. I mean, I'm not saying it can't, but it's a difficult call here in the short term. The reason I say it's difficult is we got some good, strong selling pressure today. Usually you see this with small selling pressure, like this is going up. I'm surprised it went lower today. I would have guessed that this would have gone higher. But today, sometimes in the short term, they get these days where things get hit. And we saw the hit across the board. Platinum also getting hit. There it is. Today, some strong selling pressure. We've got a breakout. So this is a breakout here. I mean, it's possible we go all the way back down here. That is a possibility. But you know what I do in these types of situations? I don't have to do anything because I purchased my stack all through here. I purchased there, there, and there. So my approach is to get in early when things are a no and cheap. When I buy down here and we've got all this volatility occurring, I'm already in, I'm locked, I'm loaded. I let it do what it's going to do. I don't trade the short term. So when I buy these things, I mean, just so you guys understand, you get in these corners here and then you let it rip because you know you're below the cost curve. As we go up, this is still a bullish formation. I just can't tell you with certainty what the very, very short term is going to do here. This is a tough call. Are we going to come all the way back? Now, a lot of people are going to claim that they know what's going to happen in the short term. I don't think they do. So I remain open. We have a lot of selling pressure here, and we could still see downside in the short term. Longer term, things still look good. Palladium also seeing some selling pressure. I am surprised at the selling pressure that we've gotten today. We have kind of this wedge that formed up. Now, this is a pretty short-term pattern. Short-term patterns, this may not be a wedge. You know, we can take this out, and this might just still be in a consolidation, even though it's kind of, to some degree, wedging up there. And we can still pull back perhaps to the top of this support region. So that is a possibility. And we're doing that a lot in across the board here. But it doesn't have to do that. And that's where trading in the short term can screw you. You get a real good long-term entry point like the bottom of these. So you acquire down here, and then you just sit and you wait in it. Sometimes you get the pullbacks that come all the way back. Sometimes they don't. If you try to time this and you sell here waiting for a pullback here, but it takes off, what do? You're left without a position. So I like to take positions in bottoms and then ride it the entire way. And then the volatility as we experience now. Now this doesn't look bad. These are small candlesticks. So we might still, add a little bit of these coming back down. That's possible. But it looks good on a longer term perspective. XAU to gold ratio getting some selling pressure. That hasn't reversed yet. Still heading lower in the short term. Momentum to the downside. And gold and silver mining companies, keep in mind, we had a monster move in some of these companies. And we're getting a pullback here. And we're still, again, at a very cheap level. Nothing's changed long term. Nothing. People are just focused on price movements. Now, GDX is down quite a bit. Could we pull back to this level at 62 bucks? Most likely in that area there. That's my guess. So you kind of break through these big patterns. So we broke through that big consolidation zone, and then we're pulling back on top of it to touch the support area. That's what it looks like it's doing. GDXJ getting a pullback here. There it is. Pullback is still in progress. And SILJ also down 5.6%. And again, we broke out of this big launch pad. Whenever you go vertical, this is when you can get a pullback. This is why I don't buy in any of these areas here. You buy in the squeeze or somewhere in this area here, and then you wait. You let it run, you let it pull back, and then maybe you get an entry point at 16 bucks on SILJ. Now, 16 bucks is still a good, fair ways away from where we're at today. But yeah, pullback is still in progress. Crude oil up down 1.1% today. Still looks okay though. Nice little wick at the bottom there, coming up off that bottom. Could we be putting in some sort of flag pattern? Could be. We could be. And that looks good. Doesn't look bad. Is it possible that gold and silver rest for a little bit as crude oil breaks out? That could be a possibility. Very similar to August of 2020. TTF gas up 2.34. That's looking better. And we're still chopping in this channel sideways. Like to see it break out, which it could. Downtrend, downward momentum, less, and then sideways. Natural gas in America continuing higher, and that's broken out of its longer-term trend channel to the upside. Now, could we get a pullback and do a retest? We could at $3.80 something cents. You break out and then do a retest before heading higher. That is a possibility. Our boy XOP down 1.4%, but still between support and resistance, and a big wick at the bottom, which means there are buyers there. Didn't just sell off into no man's land. It's holding. OIH down about 3%. We've broken out through some resistance. We may come back and do a little bit of tap on top of it. Very possible. Newcastle coal futures are up 1.65%. Wow, that's a lot. That's looking real good. Real good. I'd like to see it break through some of this resistance there and get moving to create a higher low and then a higher high wherever it goes. That would be nice. Get us in an uptrend. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust down 3.85%, back still above support, but back at support. Uranium futures pricing down a little bit today, 3.4%. That might be yesterday's, but yeah, we came on back. There's the candle there. Still looks okay though. URA down 5.4%, getting some stronger selling pressure. Is it over with? No, we're good, guys. There's a lot of support through here. We ripped on up, and sometimes you get pullbacks that come back. I'm not doing anything with my shares, even though I don't own URA. I own some other stuff, but sitting there and be patient. Uranium selling off, back above, still above support. And then URNJ down 4.8%. That's a little bit earlier in its move as it's the juniors. But we still get some selling pressure there. What am I going to do? Absolutely nothing. Ride through it, baby. Nickel down 0.5%, still above support, still squeezing up in this corner here. We've got copper down 2.78, but still above support. Still looks good to try to make its move higher with time. But it is a little bit stronger candlestick today. Don't like seeing the stronger selling pressure. COPX down 3.8%. We are at almost all-time highs here, so we're trying to break out. Could we do a loop? We could. Then we would get a little loop in there where we hit against resistance, sold off a little bit, and then came back and broke out. Sometimes we do those loops. We could even loop all the way down here. Lithium is down 3.6%, still above a lot of support. Got some support coming across there. Not a lot, but we got a pretty strong up move here. So, I mean, we could consolidate, guys. Possibility. What am I going to do? Your entry point was here and here. In the end, well, you could say this whole end of this corner here. That's your entry point. Now you sit and wait. You don't have good entry points here, and I don't try buying in these little pullbacks. They're tough to time. REMX down 3.28%. Remember, a lot of money flooded into this thing, and now some of that speculative money, momentum money, is coming out of it. Good support there at 62 bucks. Iron ore down a little bit today. I like iron ore though. Longer term, looks good. We've broken in this downtrend. We've broken out of that, but we are getting some selling pressure here on a weekly basis. Aluminum down 1.38, but we're above a lot of support through here, so that looks good still. There it is. Baltic Dry Index still trading within this consolidation zone there, but still looks good. Emerging markets are down 1.8. We're kind of coming up to some resistance, the last of these resistance areas. That's why I have that little cup on there. We'll see if we can break through. We could also loop here and do like or chop sideways at that resistance, last resistance area. Moo down 1.3. Are we putting in a shoulder, head, shoulder? We could. There's the shoulder. Here's the other shoulder that we're putting in. I'd be patient. I still think it's going higher with time. KRE down 0.5%, chopping sideways. XHB also chopping sideways above support. These don't look bad, but we've pulled back here since September of 25. It's been a pullback here. Russell's down 1.78, looking a little bit nastier, not looking as good. We'll see if there's follow through with this. And there could be. There could be. SPX is down a little over 1%, but still, I mean, we're up there, guys. We are up there. We have strong selling pressure here and kind of like floated it up. I'm surprised that we're up here, though. NASDAQ down 2% as well, but still above a lot of support. Dow Jones up 0.5%. That looks good to go higher. That looks good to go higher. That's a bullish engulfing today. Interesting. Yeah, it looks good to go up. XLI down 1.16% or so at highs. We do have some strong selling pressure here. And we kind of broke that to the downside today. So maybe we see some downside follow through. Could see a pullback there. Man, it's been ripping higher though. Bitcoin down 6.4%. This doesn't look all that good, guys. This looks kind of nasty to continue lower. Pretty big selling pressure day to day. Good follow through. It closed at its lows or pretty close to it. We could see this follow through. Ethereum's also getting sold off quite hard. Yesterday, we broke through some key support with some pretty strong selling pressure, and it's following through and continuing today. It looks pretty ugly, is what I would say, and we could continue to see follow through to the downside. Could this be a double top? It could be. I mean, we could go all the way down there. Not saying, I mean, it depends on the market condition, but I mean, if we get into a high inflationary, increasing interest rate environment, I'm curious to see how these react to it. Ethereum and Bitcoin. Very curious. Oof, there's logarithmic. Oof, 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 oof. Good luck with your Bitcoin, guys. This is logarithmic here. Seeing if there's anything that I could tie into the bottom here. Yeah. Doesn't look all that great to me, guys. Looks like we could be breaking to the downside now. That's a rising wedge. Um, could mean two things. Could mean that maybe a recession is coming, or the market conditions are changing, and we're going to see stuff like gold. Gold start to outperform Bitcoin. This is the gold to Bitcoin ratio. See it breaking higher here and starting to move up. This is a changing market condition. And then you'll also see uh, gold, or that I think that was silver there. Sorry. Here's gold divided by SPX. We're going to see this break higher too. So as we see these break higher, the condition for commodities to outperform is coming. So that's what log chart just showing you guys what that looks like, and this could get pretty nasty here for Bitcoin and Ethereum and micro bankrupt strategy. Like, good luck with this, guys. I'm not in any of this stuff, and this does not look good. That's just not. And what this could be a Batman. Hello, Batman. Batman pattern, perhaps, which are topping patterns. The VIX is coming up a little bit today. We are up 10.66%. So we are seeing a move higher in the VIX, getting some selling pressure, getting some volatility back into the mix. And that's what we're seeing today, guys. So that's where we're going to end it. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. Special is the coupon code. And that's all I've got for today. Look for a midweek update to be released later tonight, where I give my opinions on the individual companies and sectors that I follow in the commodity space. To me, the overall markets like NASDAQ and stuff like that, we're up at all-time highs, but Bitcoin squeezing in that corner, those are all a representation of where we're at in the market condition. I think that could be peaking out. Could we get a recession? It's possible. We'll have to wait and see. See what U.S. construction employment, see what unemployment does, all those numbers. But it is possible that certain sectors are slowing down and stuff like that, and that could be what we're seeing in these charts with Bitcoin and some of these other things. But if it is, we're super early in it at this time, and usually when this occurs, you'll start to see gold and silver outperform the S&P, the NASDAQ. You'll start to see that outperform Bitcoin if Bitcoin is a representation of the NASDAQ, which I think it is. Then you'll start to see commodities outperform. So this is all kind of slowly playing out because markets go slow. It's not super fast. But that's all I've got, guys. So catch you later.